I just said that we were gonna do a thing and catch up.
Talk about your hair.
I mean, I gave myself an undercut. I started it, and then the clippers died, right? So I plugged them in, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna let them charge for an hour. I also decided to snake my shower drain with a 3-inch screwdriver.
Ooh.
That's not worth it. It was fucking disgusting. I almost vomited. Just from the smell alone. It's so bad, dude. Yeah. And I was also vacuuming the hair trimmings out of my shower because I didn't want them to clog the drain more. So then I was like, okay, I need a minute. And then I have a Clorox toilet wand that I use to clean my toilet and shower floor, my bathtub. That's the word for it. And so I was like, I'm gonna clean the toilet. And then I didn't want to, dude. So I went to sit down for a little bit while the clippers charged, and I looked at the clock when I sat down. It was 4:50. Before I got up to finish trimming my undercut, it was 11 at night. Because I was playing Pokemon Infinite Fusion. So I sat at my computer in my underwear with hair trimmings all over me. And a half-completed undercut. So some parts of my undercut were still just an inch long and just sticking out of the side of my head. And my hair was tied in this weird bun on the top of my head this entire time. So my scalp's stretching out. I sat there for over 6 hours just not moving. And I didn't even realize it because this game is so addicting.
That's what I feel like with no-grams.
Yeah.
I can do them till my eyes burn.
My eyes were burning. Welcome back to Morning Mocha Podcast. I forgot to say that.
Oh, sorry.
I'm joined by my co-host Pablo.
Put a picture of Pablo right here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do that.
Visual aiding.
Yeah.
I'm RunicGlyph, and it's my co-host Abby Duckiebi.
I'm Abby Duckiebi.
Follow us on Twitter at RunicGlyph at Duckiebi _. And also email us if you want to tell us anything, you want to hear anything. We don't have an email this week to start this out, but if you do want us to read your email on the podcast, it can be a birthday shout out. We can roast somebody, whatever you want. Please send us email though, because we need stuff to talk about. We're in a topic drought right now. It's morningmochapod@gmail.com. And I'd also like to quickly apologize for the subpar editing on last episode. I completely forgot to edit it over the weekend and until after midnight on Monday, and I just finished writing a term paper, so I just wanted to go to bed, and I just tried to make sure it was listenable, and that's really all I did. So I apologize for that, but I should hopefully not drop the ball like that in the future.
Glyph, I want you to apologize on Twitter with tears and a twit longer.
With tears and a twit longer?
Yeah.
All right. I'll have ChatGPT write that.
Yeah.
Which actually brings me to our idea for today's episode. As I said, we're in a topic drought, so we'll probably talk about our week a little bit here and there as we normally do. But we wanted to change it up, give y'all something new to listen to. So we thought, what are podcast things? What do podcasts do? And the bottom of the barrel, the easiest thing, is to just read Reddit stories, right? Specifically, Am I the Asshole? Which, Abby, what is Am I the Asshole?
Basically, it's a bunch of submissions, and they ask everyone else if what they did was asshole-ish or not.
Yeah, and it's the common Reddit format with I, 22F, or whatever, and they tell a story.
MF.
Yeah, MF, so gender, age, whatever. And as I'm sure some of you have heard, there's a bunch of stuff with the internet right now. AI is fucking taking over. It's like Skynet already. ChatGPT is banned at school, so I haven't really had a chance to use it. I mean, it's gonna get banned at school. I haven't wanted to risk that, so I haven't had a chance to use that. But I thought it'd be fun if, as a twist, instead of just ripping off every other podcast out there that does anything Reddit related, and this isn't gonna be our new shtick, don't worry. But I've never actually gotten to use ChatGPT, so I thought it'd be fun if we read some Am I the Asshole stories from Reddit and ChatGPT, and one of us, Duckiebi, will not know whether it's real or fake off the bat. And we can also alternate if you want to pull up the sites too. It's up to you. And we're going to read them. We're going to give our opinion on who's in the right and who's in the wrong. And we're going to, if we're not the one that chose it, take a guess as to whether it's real or fake.
Gonna test my detective skills.
Yeah. We're going to try and see if we can figure out who is the asshole and who's the AI. So it's, so I guess it really puts the AI in AITI, Yeah. So, welcome to Am I the Asshole is what I'm going to call it for AI and the Asshole. All right. Well, I've got 2 stories pulled up.
I can't even sign up for ChatGPT right now.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll just pick the stories and you can guess, and the viewers can play along. Sound like a good call?
It
all right.
better be.
Well, I have some stories pulled up right here, and I tried to pick a newer one from Reddit so that it's hopefully not one that is on a podcast for anybody that already does listen to that. But I would like you to pick a number between 1 and 10.
2.
Okay, we're gonna start with story number 1. All right. Well, because don't worry about it. There were 2 stories pulled up so far. Don't worry about it. Am I the asshole for refusing to let my daughter use my laptop for her online classes? Due to the pandemic, my daughter's school was switched to online classes. She had been using my laptop for her classes because her own laptop was broken at the time. However, I had recently, at the time, found out that she had been using my laptop for things other than her schoolwork, like chatting with her friends and watching movies. I confronted her about it, and she got upset with me for not trusting her. But I told her that if she couldn't use the laptop responsibly, then she couldn't use it at all. I even went so far as to lock my laptop in a drawer, and I wouldn't let her use it, even for her classes. Even now, my daughter's struggling with her online classes because she doesn't have a computer to use, and my wife is angry with me for being too harsh. But I feel like my daughter needs to learn the consequences of her actions. Am I the asshole for refusing to let my daughter use my laptop for her online classes? All right. What are your thoughts on this story?
Well, first, I'll say if I think they're an asshole or not.
Okay.
I think it's kind of an asshole-ish thing to do, because, like, what else can they really do?
Yeah.
When they need something for schoolwork. Like, I get you might be annoyed at them chatting with their friends, I guess, but...
Yeah.
Set times, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. And I think, there's easier ways to monitor that. They didn't put any ages in here, which I think is just... I don't know. Like I said, I'm only going to be using new stories so as to not give it away if there's, like, any formatting errors between one or the other site. And I feel like if we had known the age of the daughter, that would have helped.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily seeing a ton of factors about that. It seems like it's mostly being told from memory too, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Also, it seems kind of like pettyish.
Yeah, it
like
does.
They're just talking to their friends.
Yeah, like during online classes, I was for sure just playing Animal Crossing.
Oh time. Yeah, like, I was on Roblox.
Half the time I would just hold my Joy-Cons on camera because I didn't care.
Yeah.
And teachers didn't really care either. Like,
yeah,
it's online school. That was junior year of high school, so like junior and senior year. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So what do you think? You think asshole, not the asshole, multiple assholes? So I think it's you're the asshole, not the asshole. Everyone sucks here, and more info needed are usually the responses.
I would say more info needed, but I'm honestly leaning toward asshole.
I agree. I think I'm at about the same spot. And now, do you think this was a real story or a ChatGPT story?
I think it's ChatGPT.
Yeah, you're right. It's ChatGPT. It's
just... Can I say my reasoning?
Yeah.
It's just a little bit too, like, minute.
Yeah.
Not minute, but, like, it's so light.
Yeah.
Like, I did the unthinkable. I put my laptop in a drawer.
Yeah.
Like, I know...
That does happen on Reddit. That's not like a thing on Reddit. But
I don't think they'd be like, that was my last thing that I could finally do. Like, there's definitely way worse things you can do.
Yeah.
But it's like, it just seemed so extreme, but they'd be like, I put it away. Like,
yeah.
Like, it's just, it wasn't as extreme. So, like, this is a robot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's 1 point Abby, 0 points AI.
Woo!
Oh yeah, we could do like an Abby versus AI thing.
Oh my god.
That'd be a good thumbnail and title too. Duckiebi solos
put
AI.
A robot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just Rock'em Sock'em robots, except one of them is a duck.
I'd win. Me versus AI, who do you think would win?
We'll find out today. All right.
Make your guesses. Make your predictions, guys. Who do you think will win?
Let's see here. Let me find the next story.
I just smacked myself in the face with a spring.
All right. I think I'm going to go with this one next.
Alright.
Am I the asshole for interrupting my son's date so that he could pick up his little sister? I'm a single father.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there.
Yeah.
I did see this one.
Fuck.
When I looked at the thing, but you can read it and we can say asshole or not.
No, we gotta keep the game show here going. How far did you scroll on Reddit?
I think I really didn't go that far.
Okay,
Maybe
cool.
3 posts down,
we're good.
max.
All right.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for telling my stepsister I'm not surprised her child doesn't get invited to parties? My stepsister, Micah, and I have daughters a year apart. Micah's daughter, Gemma, is 9, and my daughter, Serena, is 8. Gemma has had behavior issues since I can remember. When she was younger, she had constant tantrums, couldn't sit still, and vandalized anything she could get a hold of. As she got older, her lack of manners and destructive behavior made her nearly impossible to be around. And besides that, she was really mean. She told my daughter that her modeling campaign photos were ugly. She calls people stupid constantly, teased my mother's dogs to the point that she isn't allowed near them anymore, and she's just not nice. The other day, me and Micah were at our parents' house, and my stepdad mentioned Serena's birthday, and that she was having a small party, 4 girls from her class, for a shopping/spa experience and sleepover. Let me see. Micah asked me if I was planning to invite Gemma. Previous years, Serena had large... it just says previous year Serena had large, so we invited Gemma as a courtesy. I said no, because Serena is having a small part for her friends this year. And since the girls are not close, I was not going to force her to invite Gemma. Micah said I was teaching Serena to exclude people, to which I said that not being friends with someone isn't excluding them. This conversation went back and forth for nearly 10 minutes, and I was getting fed up of trying to be diplomatic, because I know for a fact Micah is aware of what Gemma is like. She complains often. So I didn't see why we were skirting around the obvious. Then Micah said that I should show some compassion, since Serena's party might be the only party/playdate Gemma is invited to this year. I said I wasn't surprised. Micah asked what I meant by that, and I said that Gemma is not kind to the people around here and lacks social skills, and she's at an age where kids will notice that and not be forgiving. Micah seemed taken aback, and she said that she couldn't believe I would be so cruel about a child. She got her things and left, and is apparently not speaking to her dad because he didn't stand up for her over what I said. She has also said she won't be coming to any upcoming family events. My stepdad said I was right, and that while he finds it hard to be honest about Gemma, it's good that I was. My mother said while I was right, as a mother, it's not an easy thing to hear about your child. My husband says that I should have stuck to saying no to Gemma coming to the party and left it there because she isn't our concern beyond that, and I should stay in my lane. I'm kind of questioning it now because I am someone who generally does try to stay in my lane and not get involved in other people's parenting or family business, but the comment was topical to what Micah was trying to force me to do. So I'm not sure if I was out of bounds to say it. Am I the asshole?
Obviously, I think they're not that much of an asshole.
Yeah, this is pretty open and shut.
But you know what I don't, like, side opinion on these. I hate when people have, like, kind of obvious things that they're not the asshole.
Yeah.
But they're still like, but, guys, am I the asshole here? Like, it just seems like
they just need more validation, which is, I guess, if anything, this should go into r/entitled parents, I feel like.
Yeah. But also just, like, if it's... This one, I will say, is not as obviously, easily, you know... Like, I can see them thinking that they are wrong.
Yeah, because maybe it's a nice thing for your family. And I get that. Especially when,
But some other ones?
Yeah, no, there's ones where it's like, I asked my husband to stop yelling at me because...
My parents kicked me out and wanted to steal my house.
Yeah, that
Am I the asshole for letting them steal my house?
That one goes crazy.
Like, who are you asking? And who is saying yes? If you tell them that, who is saying yes?
The other person.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I think you should have given them the house because I want it.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely not the other person. But you should go too.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, but I do think this person is not the asshole. It's pretty obvious.
Do you think this was AI generated?
No.
Okay, you're correct. We'll give it away. We'll give it away so I can start making it harder to guess.
It's just they had a lot more storyline and, like, examples.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I talked to my mother, my father, she does this, this, and this. We were having this conversation because we were at a party. Like, it was just more detailed overall.
Also, I'm putting them into the Discord so you can edit them on. But yes, that's correct. And then someone said ETA, which I'm assuming is supposed to say edit, but that also sounds like everyone is the asshole.
Yeah.
But that's not the abbreviation. But it says Gemma has been seen by several child psychologists and pediatricians for an ADHD, autism, or other diagnosis. She was found to not meet any of the diagnostic criteria. I believe the last time she was tested was around 6 or 7, so 2 to 3 years ago. But I don't think that really changes it for me.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
if
get them tested again, but then at the same time,
also she could just. I hate to say this about a child, but she could just be a bitch.
But also just, like, even if you still have to just learn social skills.
Absolutely.
No matter what.
And that's how you learn. You learn your actions.
Even if she got like, having a diagnosis will definitely help someone who does have...
Absolutely.
...this, like, disorder or issue.
But if she shows other, like, signs besides just being, like, not very sociable, then sure. But if the only thing is that she's kind of an asshole...
Like, you should already have... That should be something fixed, even without needing to be told you have something going on.
And I get because she's 9, but also it said, like, lack of manners and destructive behavior. But that's... Yeah. I know people that are very neurotypical and have no manners and very destructive behavior, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And if anything, I know...
It could honestly be anything.
Neurodivergent people that are more cautious about that.
Yeah. No, I would say that, too. Most of my... You know, me personally, I have neurodivergent friends. No, but I do...
also do have... I am neurodivergent, so...
Yeah, and I do have a few friends.
You know?
Like, yeah, so it doesn't... I don't really see them ever being destructive. Yeah. But obviously I know it can be a symptom. I came onto the last
podcast and I was like, your McDonald's meal would be fucking breading and melted coffee. But
yours would be a McFlurry with chicken skin.
Okay, you were snappy with that one. Have you been, like, thinking about that one since the podcast?
No, because that's what I said.
Oh, that is, okay. I wouldn't know, I barely edited. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I don't know. If anything, I feel like, generally, like, it's, like, if you, I don't know, maybe that comes with having a diagnosis. But my point is, it's not linked to whether you're neurotypical or not.
I feel like it could help a person, like, understand where they're coming from.
Yes, for sure. And it's an explanation, not an excuse.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you're gonna live in this world, you still have to learn how to at least somewhat follow the rules to have at least, like, not destructive habits.
Yeah. Also, if I could give one more, like, maybe different way of looking at this, other opinion I'm kind of coming to. It sounds like maybe the mother is just kind of like, she complains about the child, but it also sounds like she's very enabling. Because she's, you know, entitled about it. She's like, yeah, well, she doesn't get invited to stuff, so she should go to this. And it's like, so you want to teach her that she can just keep being an asshole and eventually someone will take pity on her and force someone else to include her.
Yeah, I don't think that's the best way. Excuse me. So her daughter doesn't necessarily even have to learn social skills because she'll still be able to hang out with people and she'll still be able to keep acting however she wants.
It's like Norman Bates.
I don't know what that is.
I know. It's not. I'm just adding the fact that I've been watching Bates Motel.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, because that's his whole thing. Is his mother, like, tries to protect him from other people, even though he's the problem. Yeah. Okay, let's find another one.
Ooh.
Also, feel free to cut out the in-between moments if you need to.
Alright. Beep boop bop boop. Do you think, well, here, while you're looking, do you think AI is gonna take over the world?
It depends. Just, like, unplug it.
Huh?
Just unplug it.
I
can just crash it. You know.
I mean, the only thing I'd be worried about was, like, deepfakes.
Yeah, deepfakes are scary for sure. But, oh my god, that's so many paragraphs. I don't want to read that.
Yeah, you gotta find small ones.
Okay, this one kind of sounds funny, so I am also gonna I like that one as well. I'm gonna keep getting more and more and more. Ooh, some of these are juicy. Alright, I think we're gonna go with...
I'm gonna put a tally score of how many points I have.
You have to. You're up to for sure.
Yeah.
Probably a good idea to write it down, though. But I mean, we're saying it on the pod, so it's probably fine, too.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I the asshole for ruining dinner because I showed someone her breaded shrimp was the same inside as our grilled shrimp? My 28F friend has a cousin, Molly, 38-ish F, that she's close to. I've met her a handful of times, and until this incident, didn't think one way or another about her. There have been a couple of weird things prior to and after asking my friend. No, Molly isn't on the spectrum or has food aversions, which leads to why I'm posting here. A friend invited us out, and she asked if Molly could come along. While we were ordering, Molly kept making a big deal with the waitress about how she didn't want raw shrimp with her meal. She said she wanted it cooked. Molly pointed to the table next to us where one of the people had grilled shrimp and said, "That's what I mean by I don't want raw shrimp. I want it cooked." The waitress was a champ and told her she'd ask if they could substitute tempura shrimp for regular grilled shrimp. While the waitress was gone, my friend told Molly that the shrimp was cooked and not raw, it's just grilled. Molly went on a whole tangent about how it didn't look cooked to her. Insisted that it was raw. Whatever, we ordered and tried to drop it. A couple of us got regular shrimp with our meals, and myself included, and I got a side of tempura shrimp because that stuff is good. So here's where I might be the asshole. When we got our food and started eating, Molly made another comment about how she didn't get how we could eat raw food like that, and we were going to get sick. I had enough and told her our food is cooked, and the only difference between our shrimp and hers was the breading. So I peeled off the tempura from one of my pieces, held it at a regular grilled shrimp up to her, and went, "See? They look the same. The shit is already cooked, you're just being willfully ignorant." Molly excused herself to the bathroom, and the vibe was killed after that. We got our food to go and paid right after that, and I did apologize to the rest of my friends. My friend and another of our friends have been on my case the past day and a half over this and keep telling me I need to apologize to Molly. I don't think apologizing to her is warranted in this instance, though. It's one thing to have a hang-up over a food item, but it's another to keep making comments after you've already had something explained to you. Am I the asshole? Sorry, I thought this one was really funny.
Obviously, they're not the asshole. If you had...
Really? Okay.
Listen, I don't think... It's just food.
I'll let her cook. I'll let her cook, unlike the shrimp.
If you see shrimp, how do you not understand what terms mean that they're cooked? I do not know.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever seen uncooked shrimp is when it says uncooked shrimp or raw shrimp.
Also, I feel like uncooked shrimp looks very noticeably different from raw shrimp.
Yeah.
Cooked shrimp, sure, it looks like raw meat, but it does not look like raw shrimp. You know,
that's the thing with shrimp, though. The whole thing is that it changes colors.
Yeah, and it's
and textures.
Yeah, it changes transparency too. Like, I feel like if I can't see you through my shrimp, it's not raw.
Yeah, and also just like maybe if your shrimp isn't, glossy, gray, clear looking, I think it's cooked.
Yeah.
I have a feeling. And also, this is on another thing. The premise that imagine a medium rare shrimp.
Bro.
Well, that is just not possible. Shrimp cooks way too fast.
It does cook really fast, actually, yeah.
So it's also just literally, I could put that shit on a grill for less than a minute and it will be cooked.
Honestly, yeah. Maybe like a minute and a half. I'd give it
Not if the heat's high.
Not a what?
Not if the heat's high.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't really cook.
I mean, last time I grilled shrimp skewers or shrimp on the barbie. My mom has a good recipe.
Bobby.
It is just shrimp on the barbie. It's like shrimp skewers. It's nice and spicy. It's actually really good. It took like a minute and a half to 2 minutes to cook the skewers, but they also had a thick marinade on them. So I don't know. I think that there isn't. I don't think it's an asshole thing to do. I think that maybe the way that they went about it is okay. That's
oh wait, did I say asshole?
No, you said not. You said they're definitely not. And I agree, they're definitely not. And I think that I would do the same thing. I think if you don't know the friend's cousin super well, it's not there could be a case made of that's probably not the nicest way to handle it. You could just be like, no, look, see, it's the same thing. Not this whole I'm so much better than you. Yeah.
I think another thing is that I hate when people get prissy over food.
Yeah.
Over smaller things. That really just irks me.
Also, have you heard of sushi? Because it's not if the restaurant's serving raw food on purpose, it's probably sushi grade. But also, people don't serve raw shrimp. That's not a thing.
And also, it's just not
you shouldn't eat
that
raw
people
shrimp.
do.
Yeah, that's not. Oh.
Unless it's a high quality, then people don't eat shrimp like that.
Even then, it's just not even usually good to eat shrimp like that. Just because they're pretty dirty, right?
I know they do in a lot of Asian countries.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. That makes sense, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Do you think that's real or fake?
I feel like it's real.
You're correct. It is real.
3-0, 3-0.
Maybe AI is not what it's cracked up to be, or maybe I just need to buy ChatGPT Plus. Who knows?
Well, I'll say why I think it is. Or why I thought it was real. Because a lot of it, this one was an instance of that. It's not a lot of lead up to it's a lot of lead up to the actual part. And I feel like chat or AI would be trying to focus it throughout the whole thing. But it was more I feel like out of the whole story, one actual sentence was the conflict.
Yeah, I getcha.
So if it was really being picky and AI, I think they would at least, like, lead up, like, she was actually, like, really rude to me. She spit in my margarita drink. And, like, I feel like AI would add on.
I getcha.
Yeah. Or maybe I'm just good at detecting fakes.
Okay, I understand that. And I'll definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'm making this game harder for myself.
You sure are. That's good to know.
It's okay, I'll figure it out.
Okay. I had pre-generated some stories in between, so I'm trying to decide if I want to, like, both from Reddit and ChatGPT, I'm trying to decide which one I like. Let's see.
I might just use probable cause, too.
Probable cause?
Like, what's the probability of you giving me 3 reels in one time? Now it's much higher because I said that. But, is it? We'll never know. I'd say there's about...
there's definitely a metagame.
A 60% chance.
You think it's a 60% chance? Interesting. Well, I'd already
a little bit more because I did go like, hey. Ooh. Okay, then it goes to 50-50 again.
Okay. Am I the asshole for keeping my daughter's affair with her married boss a secret?
Ooh.
My daughter, Rachel, has been working at a law firm for a few years now, and she recently confided in me that she's been having an affair with her married boss, Mark. I was shocked and disgusted when I heard this, but Rachel begged me not to tell anyone. She said that Mark's marriage is on the rocks anyway, and that they're planning to leave their spouses and start a life together. What the fuck? I was torn about what to do. On the one hand, I wanted to protect my daughter and keep her secret safe, but on the other hand, I knew that what she was doing was wrong, and that Mark was cheating on his wife. I tried to talk to Rachel about it and tell her that she needed to end the affair, but she wouldn't listen to me. A few weeks later, I ran into Mark's wife, Sarah, at a local coffee shop. She seemed really upset and asked me if I knew anything about her husband's behavior. I was caught off guard and didn't know what to say, so I lied and told her that everything was fine. But as time went on, I started to feel more and more guilty about keeping Rachel's secret. I knew that what she was doing was wrong, and I didn't want to be a part of it, so I finally told Sarah the truth about the affair. Needless to say, things got messy after that. Sorry, I gotta throw the little Redditor stank on there. Mark and Rachel were both fired from the law firm, and Mark's marriage ended in divorce. Rachel was devastated and blames me for ruining her life. She hasn't spoken to me since. I feel like I did the right thing by telling Sarah the truth, but I also feel like I betrayed my daughter's trust. Am I the asshole for keeping my daughter's affair with her married boss a secret for as long as I did, and then telling his wife?
Morally, I really hate the idea of cheating. Like, obviously, it's not a good thing, but I really hate the idea, so I would have said something right away. But the fact they said something is, I guess, better than nothing.
Right.
So I'm not gonna necessarily call them an asshole for it, but... Because I get it, you don't want to say stuff right away. Yeah. Because it is your daughter who did the wrongdoing, but I think they're not an asshole. Yeah. But...
See, I can
definitely a story.
I think it's, if anything, they were very wishy-washy, which I can respect because it means they at least like have thought about it heavily, and they clearly feel like guilty about all of it. My instinct has always kind of been like, I say something right away, but also I understand like wanting to protect somebody. But then also like my mother's philosophy, whenever I like would hear stories about people cheating or whatever when I was growing up, was like, her philosophy is like, it's not my business. I don't have all the sides. So I shouldn't say anything unless I do. I sometimes take that into account. I sometimes, like, my instinct is just like, I'm gonna say something. But also, like, you know, if I'm OP in the situation, like, I guess devil's advocate, not really. I don't know, just different viewpoint is like, I'd want to like keep my daughter safe, and I don't really like. We don't know what their obligation is to the daughter's boss's wife as much as we do to the daughter. So, like, morally, sure, if it's, like, a third party, you go straight to the wife. But at the same time, like, what if Sarah could, like, get your daughter into hot water or something, and you just need to trust that your daughter's going to do the right thing? Like, I think I would probably also take about the same amount of time to figure it out, but I'd more be trying to,
get it.
I'd more just, like, be trying to talk to my daughter and be like, hey, can we talk about this? Because, first of all, it's never a good idea starting a relationship like this. Like, it's just gonna happen to you next. Or like.
And why did you do this to begin with?
Why? Like, what was your? Yeah, is this really worth it? Because he doesn't love you clearly. Maybe he does, but it doesn't sound like he does. It doesn't sound like he is capable of it. You know, it sounds like he's more just like whatever is most exciting for him. Also, he's your boss. There's definitely a power dynamic there. Like, if you have some expectation of promotion, you know that's not gonna happen. Also, don't run away with a strange man. What the fuck? Like, I don't know how old the daughter is. They didn't put ages in this story, which is definitely annoying. But
she's probably younger. If she's still hanging out with her mom often. My guess is that her
boss is like late 40s and the daughter's maybe like mid 20s.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. It says planning to leave their spouses, so the daughter's married too.
Oh, that's even worse.
Holy shit. Okay, so I'm assuming the daughter doesn't have kids.
I would have snitched right away then.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I would.
If it was just her on her own, then maybe I'd feel like a little bit more empathy towards like the daughter because my only daughter.
Yeah, my only daughter.
She's lovesick.
Yeah, she's gone astray.
But she had a spouse. Yeah, I don't think OP's the asshole
here. I think it's reasonable to hesitate. I think any normal person would for a bit. Yeah. Like, we can all sit here and claim like, yeah, I wouldn't do shit.
We do it right away, but I know.
Me personally, I wouldn't take that. But like at the same time, that'd be messy because also, especially if it's like your son-in-law or whatever, your daughter-in-law, or whatever you're like. You're like, what is the term? I guess just child-in-law. I don't know. The like daughter's
You're gonna see your daughter a lot though. Like even that's the thing. It's hard because you're gonna see your daughter.
But then also, it's not your job. And
you're not gonna really see the mom.
Yeah, but it's also not your job
as wife
as a parent to like when your daughter up and leaves to just have to sit there and clean up their mess after they leave your son-in-law or whatever. Assuming because it sounds like straight to leave your son-in-law, and especially if they were like talking about having kids or whatever. It's like. Hey, your daughter's gone. Why are you not more concerned about this? Like, we were about to start a life. Like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, what do you even do there? It sounds like daughter has cloudy judgment for sure, at best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can understand being paralyzed in this situation the more I like go back and read details because I didn't even fully absorb the daughter was married. Yeah, Rachel sucks. Mark sucks. I feel bad for Sarah and Rachel's spouse. And honestly, I don't think OP is the asshole here.
Yeah.
I think they're human.
As long as they did it in the end. Yeah. So I can't really call them that much of an asshole.
They came around.
And also, I get it.
We're all human. Keeping it
we think about it.
For sure. They didn't give an exact timeline for how long. A few weeks. It seems like a few weeks they knew.
Yeah.
So that could be anywhere from like under a month to
but also,
2 or 3.
If you aren't constantly seeing the wife... How much can you really like? Yeah, like it's not that easy.
The only thing I can think of is like talking to your daughter a couple more times, trying to get her to end the affair. Then, if not, going to the daughter's husband, right? Because that's your son-in-law.
Yeah.
And say like, hey, out of respect, unless the son-in-law's shitty, we don't know that. It didn't say anything about the daughter being married to someone abusive. I don't think.
Yeah.
In that case, I'd more be saying, hey, first of all, I feel like you shouldn't have married this person in the first place. Get the fuck out. I'll stay in my house. I'll protect you. Like. Especially if you don't have kids. But don't go chasing your married boss. He's just going to be bad on another level, too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
They're both baddies.
Yeah, so I don't think the parent's an asshole here. I think that, sure, they probably could have handled it better, but they're not a bad person.
I think they were just put in, like, a tough situation.
That's a shitty spot. It's definitely ambiguous.
And I don't blame them for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. Alright, do you think this is a real or fake story?
I really... Fake.
How the fuck did you know?
Oh, let's go!
I thought that was convincing.
Let's go!
No!
It really was.
Oh, okay,
this one I was having trouble on.
Good. Oh, at least it's getting convincing now.
What was I thinking? I'm trying to remember what my processes was. Oh, I got really suspicious around the time she was like explaining that she saw the wife at the coffee shop. Because like, it wasn't very much like, guys, I was so shocked to see her at the coffee shop. It's like, she was at the coffee shop, I was at the coffee shop, I knew, and his wife knew me specifically, and I knew her specifically. Like, how... Yeah,
that's where it was like...
Unless they're, like, close family friends?
She's gonna get this one. Yeah, they didn't give enough context for that.
Yeah, it was just very
if it was, like,
quiet.
I don't know. Yeah, if they were coworkers, that would have been perfect.
I would say that'd be more believable to me if they were all family friends.
Yeah, or like if instead of the parents' perspective, it was my best friend that I work with or some shit like that.
Yeah, because like, how are you gonna know what this random coworker's mom looks like enough to identify her at a random coffee shop? And then also, how are you going to be able to identify your daughter's boss's wife? That's just a little far out.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see
what a coincidence. Sure. At the coffee shop.
Yeah, that's just like, oh, guess who I ran into the other day? Yeah, I can see that for sure.
I don't think it's that easy to identify people at that rate. Especially, I mean, like, I was thinking it might be possible because if the mom's, like, looking into it.
Yeah.
But the wife came up to them, not the other way around.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely...
4-0!
Jeez, yeah, you're destroying
I'm going
AI
crazy.
Right now. It's impressive. You were soloing the AI.
Who would have thought?
Alright, I've got our next story pulled up here. Am I the asshole for not inviting my dad's new wife to my wedding? I'm 28 and engaged to be married next year. My parents got divorced when I was 12, and my dad recently got remarried to a woman named Karen, who is 10 years younger than him. I've only met Karen a few times, and we don't really have a relationship. When I was planning my wedding guest list, I decided not to invite Karen. I wanted to keep this wedding small and intimate, and I didn't feel like she was someone who needed to be there. Plus, I wanted to avoid any potential drama or tension between her and my mom, who will be attending the wedding.
Okay, I also just want to say, to make this more fair for you, I'm pretty sure all of the ones you are talking about, all your AI ones don't have M and F. And I'm assuming this one is AI as well.
Fuck you. And yeah, that's true, but not all the fucking Am I the Asshole ones do either.
Yeah, but they bring up age, though.
They brought up age with this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm 28 and engaged to be married next year. My parents got divorced, and that's why I'm reading from new. Aw, damn it, man. Okay, that's fine.
Oh, that was on limb then. I really didn't get it then.
Oh.
I'm a guesser.
Okay, well.
But the story was real when I was listening, but I picked up the note FM.
Okay.
20F. 40M.
Do you want me to just, like, start throwing them in there? Or, like, what do I do?
Yeah, just pour in random ones.
Just what?
Pour in some random ones.
Throw some in there, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you could just not say them for the actual Reddit ones.
That's actually true. I guess I'll be doing that now. Yeah, you're right. I'll start doing that. Okay.
Make it easier for yourself.
Yeah.
So 5L.
No, that doesn't count. Yeah, that counts. That's fine. Okay.
Well, because I technically... You definitely did say I just didn't pay
I
attention.
I should have this, like, right before we started recording, because then I could have had these ready and, like, edit them in myself.
Yeah.
That would have been great. Okay. Fuck, I just refreshed the page. Hang on. Gotta find the story again.
How many do you have?
I don't know, until we fill, like, up to 45 minutes of the podcast. I mean, you've pretty much destroyed it.
No, I mean... even if I get one wrong, I think having a...
Do you want to call it half a point?
1 to 5 ratio.
Of it and I just refreshed the page.
Okay. 4.5 ratio is pretty good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Alright.
Yeah, sure. I'll call that a half point, though.
Okay. Am I the asshole for asking my sister to pay me back for a loan even though she's struggling financially? My younger sister, Emily, 25F, has always been the more impulsive and carefree sibling. She's never been good with money and has gotten herself into debt multiple times over the years. Recently, she came to me asking for a loan of $10,000 to pay off her credit card and start fresh. I was hesitant to lend her the money, but she was really emotional and said that she didn't know what else to do, so I agreed to lend her the money. But I made her sign a contract outlining the repayment terms and schedule. Alright, Sam Bankman-Fried. However, it's been 6 months now, and Emily hasn't paid me a cent back. She keeps coming up with excuses about why she can't make the payments, and I'm starting to get really frustrated. I understand that she's struggling financially, but I feel like I'm being taken advantage of. I confronted Emily about the situation, and she got really defensive and said that I was being unsympathetic to her financial struggles. She said that what she was... I can't fucking read. She said that she was doing the best she could, and that I should cut her some slack. But at the same time, I feel like I'm being taken advantage of. I worked hard for the money, and it's not fair that she's... Oh my god, I can't even read. I'm sorry, hang on. But at the same time, I feel like I'm not being taken... Oh my god. But at the same time, I feel like I'm being taken advantage of. I worked hard for that money, and it's not fair that she's not holding up her end of the bargain. Am I the asshole for wanting my sister to pay me back for a loan, even though she's struggling with money?
I don't think you're an asshole. I mean, your money's your money.
Also, you had terms
and with
lined
family,
out.
With family, it's also always stickier, so I bet they just are not trying to fuck up the family dynamic.
Yeah. I don't think you're an asshole for it. I think that it's best not to lend money unless you can reasonably expect it, unless you can, like, be okay with it not coming back. That's usually my policy.
Yeah, or just don't lend money out to family, too.
Yeah,
because then you definitely will not be strict.
Yeah, don't.
And if you are strict, you're gonna ruin.
Yeah, don't loan money.
You're
to
gonna
family.
ruin
if you're
stuff.
if you're giving money to family, just give them money. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For sure.
Yeah, but also if you know she's impulsive and carefree, like it said, and like $10,000 is a good bit for a credit card debt and starting fresh. And like if you know it's going to paying debt and starting fresh, but she's also impulsive. The way I see it, she's probably just gonna pay off the credit card debt and then use whatever's left to like go clubbing or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And it does sound like she took advantage of you, but also like you kind of set yourself up for that. So I don't think you're an asshole. I think you're just dumb. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can understand the sympathy though, and I can't say I wouldn't give money to my family. Obviously, I would, but like.
Yeah, but
I would just give them money if I was.
We're also saying that in hindsight, of course, too.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And it's easier from an outside perspective to say that.
I would say just like give money if you know they're not responsible. Yeah. But if you know they're not gonna be responsible at all, and you see them not going down the path to being responsible, I just wouldn't lend them money.
Yeah, by that point, they kind of need to learn their lesson. Like, I would take them in, like, give them a place to sleep or whatever, and say, hey, we're going to look for a job for you, if I couldn't just, like...
But I'm not giving them cash.
I'm not just going to give you a handout or a loan, because I know you're not going to pay back the loan. Clearly, you have $10,000 of credit card debt, which is a lot, or I guess less than $10,000. But $10,000 to pay off debt and start fresh. She didn't say how she's going to start fresh or anything like that. I know they, like... Yeah, they only outlined repayment terms and schedule. But also sue her ass. It's a fucking... You have a contract.
Yeah, and if anything, I would...
You have that
I'd, like, point them to a credit union at that point.
Yeah, true.
So then you're not paying.
No, absolutely.
But they can still get their help.
That's so smart. I didn't think of that.
Go to credit unions if you're in debt.
I didn't even know that's something you could do. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I don't know shit about shit. But also, if you have it in a contract and you really want your money back and you need to learn a lesson, and she's manipulating you by saying you're being unsympathetic.
Yeah.
You've cut her 6 months of slack. She has not once gone through at least the repayment terms, because clearly you made a repayment plan and schedule, which is huge. Like, some people just be like, pay me back whenever, and then get mad when they don't get paid back. At least you knew that it was reasonable to, like, give them a schedule of, like, how to repay it. Like, I don't know. But also, it's... With the contract comes the expectation of, like, if they sign the contract, then either they know that you're not going to enforce it, like this person specifically. I mean, like, Emily clearly knows that she's not going to enforce it, or she knows that there will be consequences if she doesn't. And if not, clearly she needs to learn about consequences. And if you're going to be lending her money, you may as well, you know, give her a free lesson about
give her those consequences.
You get sued if you don't hold up to your contractual obligations. I feel like you should know that at 25. I don't know. I don't think OP's the asshole. I think the sister's for sure the asshole, and she's clearly struggling because of her own bad decision making. And I feel like that's just showing in this, but. I don't know. I think OP's a little dumb, but I don't think they're the asshole. And I can understand being, like, sympathetic and not wanting to sue a sister, you know? We don't know how close
I think they're a little bit gullible.
Yeah, they could be close, and, like, maybe it's, you know, they want to see their kid sister doing well, which is an older sibling I definitely understand. Like, yeah, I would always want to get the benefits out. It's easy to have rose-tinted glasses, like, with that kind of situation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you think this is ChatGPT or Reddit?
ChatGPT.
Fucking... Alright.
Oh my god.
I thought I had a good video idea. I thought I had a good podcast
I think it is good. I think I'm just really good. I'm figuring... Because I think I just pay more attention to smaller things.
Yeah.
So I can figure stuff out. So my reasoning, first of all, when she was saying how her sister was like, you need to be more empathetic towards my financial situation, she was not nearly as harsh as she could have been.
Or should have been. Could have been harsher?
Yeah.
That's actually true. Yeah, if she was... But, I mean, maybe she...
Because if someone's defending themselves over you saying, like, they're in debt, they'd be way ruder about it, is what I'm thinking.
Honestly, I can see that. I think just... I didn't pick up on that because me personally, when I know I'm doing something wrong, I get meek, and when I'm, like, I don't get defensive, I just feel bad, and, like, the guilt takes over, and I'm like, listen, I know, just please give me another chance, like, I'm trying my best here, a lot of shit's happening, but just, if I could, just please some sympathy is all I ask for.
Yeah. No, and that is true, but that's the thing, though. Yeah. She wouldn't have said at all, like, you're not being considerate of me.
Yeah, I guess I see.
If she felt guilty, you know, it would be I feel like it would be on two different sides. You're either very sorry about it or extremely defending yourself.
I can see that. Yeah.
Over 10 grand too.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and also something for a note. You said the sister's age, but not hers.
Yeah, she didn't write her age.
Oh.
Well, I mean, it's ChatGPT.
Like, did you put it in?
It just gave the sister.
I know, but you said 24F, but if it was a or 25, I just checked it now.
Image I sent you, that's what they gave me to work with.
Yeah, but I feel like if they said my, they would say my F something.
Yeah, I guess some posts.
Especially if they are already saying their sisters. But, like, that was just a small thing.
Yeah, I don't know, but there's some Reddit posts. Like, I won't read this one now since I'm going to use it as an example, but, like, there's one post that says, "Am I the asshole for sending my daughter's date away after he honked?" Why can't I see the post anymore? Did they get rid of it? Oh, it got removed. But anyway, it said, my daughter is 17. Like, the same way that, like, ChatGPT would say it, you know?
Yeah.
I think, it is harder with that formatting, for sure. Or there's, like, one that says, my 9-year-old son Cameron, and it doesn't say OP's age at all. Stuff like that.
I think younger people will do that format, though.
Younger people do, but I think some of the best ones are, like, I don't know.
And then when they say my daughter, my son, like, they're a little bit older, I can see that being a bit more picky.
I wonder if they're actually going to put like, another subreddit. Yeah, with less formatting that we could do for a lightning round. Not a lightning round, but like a little... This one might be harder.
Sure.
Alright.
So there's no format?
Yeah, I'm going to go... Or there's less... Formatting is less common on this subreddit.
Alright.
So I'm going to pick a story on each way of getting a story that we're using. Yep, and they have smaller stories too. This is good. Okay. Let me see here.
I'm really giving ChatGPT tips to get better.
Yeah.
Damn it, I'm helping the AIs.
Well, this is also a good experiment, I feel like, too. This is fun. I'm enjoying this. This is a good topic for the podcast.
I think it's just, like, even in my personal life, I not nitpick, but I will take, like, small things and overanalyze them. So, if I was the kind of person who pays less attention, I probably would have missed a lot of this.
Okay, we're going to go through both of these stories, and you're not going to guess until we've heard both of them.
Okay.
And this one...
Wait, are they, like, correlating?
No, they're not correlating. They're just two stories from both.
Are they possibly... Like, one's AI, one's real.
Well, yeah, of course.
Both of them are AI, or both of them are real.
Well, I'm not going to tell you which one's which, or if they're both, or neither.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, I already said that. Yeah, one of them is AI, one of them is real. We're going to guess which one. They're both Am I the Asshole rejects, so it's similar to the subject matter we've been doing. But it's from r/entitled parents is the theme. So it's just about entitled parents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're going to read each story, and you're going to hold your guesses as to which one's real or fake until the end. And then we're going to...
I'll write it down.
Yeah. Wait, say again? What?
I'll write that down. Yeah. Which one I think's real or not.
Yeah, just keep notes. Okay. So, I'm going to read you both titles, and then you can decide which one you want to hear first. And they're not the same length. So sorry in advance about that. So, the two titles. Entitled Mom tries to take away my adopted son because she thinks she's his real mother. Or... wondering if I should cut my entitled/toxic aunt out of my life.
The mother one.
The mother one? So the first one?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a single 35-year-old man, and I recently adopted a 3-year-old boy from an orphanage in Africa. I've always wanted to be a father, and when I saw my son, I knew he was meant to be mine. We've been living together for a few months now, and he's brought so much joy and love into my life. However, things took a turn for the worse when I introduced my son to my sister-in-law, Karen. What a coincidence. Same name as a previous one, and her mother, Margaret. Margaret immediately started making comments about how my son looked like her grandson, and how she felt a real connection to him. I didn't think much of it at the time, but things got worse when Karen and Margaret started asking me about my son's birth mother. I explained to them that my son was orphaned, and that I adopted him legally, but Margaret kept insisting that she had a right to know about his birth mother, because she was his real grandmother. I tried to explain to her that she had no legal claim to my son and that I was his father now, but she wouldn't listen. Things came to a head when Margaret showed up at my doorstep with Karen and Karen's husband demanding to see my son. I refused to let them in and told them they were being disrespectful and entitled. Margaret then dropped a bombshell and said that she'd hired a lawyer to try and take away my son from me because she believed she was his real grandmother. I was shocked and outraged by this. But my son is mine, legally and emotionally. I've worked so hard to provide a loving and stable home for him, and it's not fair that someone would try and take him away from us. But at the same time, I feel guilty for not being more understanding of Margaret's feelings. I know that she's grieving the loss of her own son, and that she sees my son as a connection to him. I'm not sure what to do now. On one hand, I want to protect my son and make sure that he stays with me. But on the other hand, I don't want to completely shut Karen and Margaret out of my lives. Is Margaret just being... Did it say mother or mother-in-law? What did it say? Sorry. It just says Margaret.
Mother.
I
was going to ask you after
I'll check back
what the relationships were again.
Is Margaret just being entitled, or am I being an asshole for not being more understanding of Margaret's feelings?
Okay.
Because the title says entitled mom,
Could
sister-in-law and her
the
mother.
Relationships again?
It's a mother-in-law.
Okay, mother-in-law, and okay.
Sister-in-law and her mother Margaret. So Karen's the sister-in-law, so the wife's sister. Margaret is OP's mother-in-law.
Okay.
This is a heavy story.
Well, it's this one's not an asshole one, right?
No. It's some of it is because both of these stories are rejects from r/am I the asshole, like the reposts, but yeah. So it's asking whether he is being an asshole, but it's also is Margaret being entitled or am I being an asshole?
Obviously, I would say he's not being an asshole. He's just trying to be a parent and figure out what to do in this parenting scheme.
Yeah.
Is she entitled? I mean, obviously.
Yeah, a little bit.
But it's like
also
I can get her being like trying to look for a connection.
I feel like I need information. Like, did she? I don't know.
Did
she give away a kid?
Is she?
It sounds like she gave away her daughter at some point, and that daughter might be this kid's mother.
Yeah, I'm a little confused if they're assuming that this kid is Karen's kid.
No, not Karen's kid. So my assumption is that
son's?
I think that it was just. I think that the mother-in-law is just not telling her kids everything, because it sounds like maybe she gave away a daughter when she was younger.
But she's also saying she was a daughter.
Like maybe she had a third daughter, or an older daughter, and then like immigrated, and then probably had Karen and the OP's wife or husband. We don't know.
But were they also talking about like? Wait, can you read the last part again? Because I swear they were talking about like not the very last part, but it was like she was. Oh yeah.
She believed that she was his real grandmother, like not adoptive grandmother, but real grandmother.
I'm thinking, I don't know if it was that she was talking about a brother or something, or a son.
Just saying that I tried to explain to her that she has no legal claim to my son, and that I was his father now, but she wouldn't listen.
Yeah, but she was also saying, like, how, they were also saying how the grandma was, like,
asking about the son's birth mother.
Oh, was it asking about the birth mother?
Yeah, which is why I'm thinking that I feel like they should be asking more questions, because it sounds like Margaret has another child they didn't tell them about.
I feel like they should give more information.
They really should.
I don't think she's necessarily entitled, but
I think that
I do think she is entitled.
I think that her motivations are understandable if she did in fact give away a child.
Yeah, like I get it, but then
also,
you thinking
the
you automatically,
way, just be there for
you
the kid.
Automatically have a claim to this kid.
But also, you're the kid's grandmother.
Yeah, you're still
you're now the grandmother either way.
And obviously, they got orphaned.
Yeah, blood doesn't define it either way. Also, don't go asking questions you don't want the answer to.
Also, just like, that just makes me think if it is your long-lost daughter, I'm pretty sure she doesn't want that kid back if she orphaned them.
Yeah.
So who are you taking it for?
Or the mother died, but we don't know. We don't know anything because the kid came from an orphanage. But also, this is wild to look at a kid and be like...
But then that also is just like the mother cannot take care of the kid then at that point. If they're past.
Yeah, maybe
it's... who are you taking the kid back for?
Maybe it's some guilt of like, I gave away this child and now she can't even take care of her kid. And I need to put right into the world, you know? Like, I need to correct it by taking in this kid.
Then,
even though this kid is my grandchild either way.
Yeah, like, that kid's still gonna be your grandkid.
Yeah, you don't have to raise them for them to be your long-lost grandkid.
It's a bit absurd.
They're still your adopted grandkid either way. Like.
Yeah, and if you want to think they're your real grandkid, maybe just don't tack the word adopted on top of it.
But also, like, yeah, also that shouldn't matter. But also, like, don't barge in and try and use lawyers to take away this kid that your son-in-law and your daughter or your child. It didn't specify whether it was two male parents or not. But don't try and take away your grandkid just to find out if it's your actual blood grandkid or just your adoptive grandkid, which is, it's still your grandkid. But also, you can just be like,
and you can figure this out. You can also
just say, "Hey, I have something to tell you guys."
Away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or you just be like, "I need to tell you guys something. You have an older sister that I was too young to raise before I moved to the States or whatever." Because that's the only way that could be possible. The son came from an orphanage in Africa, so that's what I'm assuming is that Margaret moved from Africa.
And this is all on the premises that we're being generous that there actually is a connection.
We're being very charitable to the fact that your mother-in-law is not.
There might just not be a connection.
Yeah, there could just not be a connection because it's insane to
look at the kid just might look like them.
Or it's insane to look at a kid and be like, I feel a real connection here. Because that's your fucking grandchild. It's a baby. Of course you feel a connection to your grandchild one way or another.
Also just like the probability of it is not very high.
Yeah. Wait, actually that reminds me. Did you hear about this one dude that's banned from sperm banks because he has over 500 kids?
No.
He donated so much sperm that he has over 500 kids, and there is now a high enough probability that there is concern that they will have incestuous relationships without even ever knowing it because of this one dude.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, sorry, totally off topic.
And they're probably all near each other too.
Yeah, because it's in different areas sporadically, but mostly in Scandinavian countries.
Yeah, but
there's some in Australia and England. It sounds like too. I forget the guy's name, but he's a menace.
Oh, that's
crazy. And there's a class action lawsuit against him by all the people that used him as a donor.
Oh,
it is insane.
I don't feel like that you could really sue him for that.
I think he could because he shouldn't be donating that much. I don't know, but it's interesting because now
But I feel like that's more of a clinical issue.
For sure,
you know?
Yeah, that's true. They should have stopped him actually. But if he's
obviously
doing it
be mad at him.
But also part of it is he's going to multiple sperm banks. It sounds like.
Yeah, but also they would have records of that.
You would think. But maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, I just thought that sounds interesting.
But then that's another thing. Sue the clinics.
True. Yeah. I don't know. That's actually true. I don't know why they're
bad bookkeeping.
Anyway, that's not.
Well, no, I think he sucks for doing that. But.
Yeah. I mean, he claimed it.
Legally, I don't know how binding it could be.
I don't think he knew that was going to be an outcome. I don't think he thought about that because his logic was allegedly he just wanted to make sure enough people could have kids. But that's not entirely on you, dude. You don't need to single-handedly repopulate the earth.
Yeah.
7 billion.
It's all on him. It's all on him.
Yeah. I don't know if he thinks he is the reincarnation of Adam from the Bible or something, but anyway.
He's like Genghis Khan.
Yeah. Anyway, totally unrelated to the thing because we're getting already to an hour-ish here, so I just wanted to move past my little tangent. But save your guesses on that one. We're gonna read the other story now. Wondering if I should cut my entitled / toxic ant out of my life. Once again, and am I the asshole reject? My sister passed away, and while I don't blame my aunt, I believe her actions contributed to the decline of her condition. My aunt, April, moved down to live closer to us, her family. My sister, Sam, had MG. What is MG? MG disease, not motor company. Myasthenia gravis. It's a chronic autoimmune neuromuscular disease that causes weakness in the skeletal muscles, which connect your bones and contract to allow body movement. Okay. And allow for breathing. Interesting. Okay. That sucks. My sister Sam had MG and was constantly in and out of the hospital, but she wasn't doing bad and was living a better quality life than most people. She started to get really sick, and unfortunately due to her husband, that's another story, she lost her house. Sam's condition took a turn for the worse, and most likely brought on by all the stress. She needed a hospital bed. Our mom was all ready to help, but she lived in a small condo, which wasn't big enough to accommodate Sam's hospital bed. We asked April if Sam could stay with her because she lived alone in a 5-bedroom house. April said no, which not only devastated my sister, but myself and my mom. When we asked why, she came up with an excuse of how she didn't want Sam's husband there too. We told her he wouldn't, so she came up with another excuse, which was my sister's hospital bed would mess up her floors. After that, anytime someone else in the family asked why April wouldn't allow Sam in her house, she had a new excuse each time. Tragically, my sister passed away, and I can't even look at my aunt without feeling angered, especially considering she was all tears and sobs at Sam's funeral. I think at this point I should cut her out, but I've had people tell me I'm overreacting, or she's family, and I can't blame her for what happened to my sister. But I don't think I can be around someone, let alone be nice to someone who looked at her sick niece pleading for help and turned her away. And that's where the story ends.
Okay, wait, I have another question. Why did she need to move into the aunt's house?
Because the mom's condo didn't have room for the hospital bed, but the aunt's house was... The aunt had a 5-bedroom house that she lived alone in.
Okay.
So, I don't know if that's what they're calling the aunt entitled for. I would have thought that the post would be, like asking if he and the mom were entitled, or OP and the mom were entitled, but at the same time, they're not. Like, that would be a slam dunk. They're not entitled. The aunt's just an asshole. Like, the aunt's an asshole, especially if she was crying about that loss. Like, if they weren't close, that's different. But she also moved to live closer to them. So, what better way to live closer than to be able to live with your family and be able to give them the space they need? I don't know if this is the right, like, I don't know. I don't know if this is an entitled parent story, but still.
I wouldn't say, I mean, I don't think it fits the definition of entitled. But, like, being a complete utter asshole? Yeah.
Yeah,
for
absolutely,
sure.
Yeah. I guess I can see why it's like an AITA reject.
Yeah, it's just not very entitled, because, like, what is she entitled to?
Yeah.
I guess her house. Her own house.
Yeah, I think that, most of all, it's just a sad story.
Yeah.
Both of these are just sad stories, I feel like.
Yeah.
With that in mind, which one is real and which one is fake?
I think the second one's real, the first one's fake.
Everybody, thank you for watching Morning Mocha Podcast. This will be the last episode that I am ever on, because I'm sick and tired of Abby Duckiebi's shit right now. How the fuck?
Is it right?
Yeah, you're right. How? You said the first one's fake?
Yeah.
I hate you.
So, my thing was that, the first one, it was detailed, but it wasn't really detailed enough. I feel like, also talking about how we didn't know the grandma's story.
Yeah.
I feel like there would be at least a little bit more suspicion on that, but they kind of glazed over that. And I thought the second one was too real, was just because they had so much detail, and also they talked about side plots. Not side, but like her husband.
Yeah, I should have just not read that. I should have not read that. That was on me.
Well,
I should have cut that out, or just picked a different post.
It did.
What's up?
Get me a little bit confused, because we also were thinking that the grandma had a side plot, so that was more specific.
That was also me trying to give
just
more regular stuff, and I think that probably came across.
No, I thought it was close.
Okay, good. I'll take that.
I think I just can pick them out really well. Fair. Wow, I went crazy.
You obliterated the AI, actually. So to answer your
what
question,
can I say?
I don't think AI is going to take over the world, at least not yet.
Yeah, until they learn what I just said and then figure it out.
Victory speech.
I think AIL.
Damn.
Duckiebi W. What? I don't know what else to say.
Wait, common Duckiebi W. Rare ChatGPT-L?
I just kind of go crazy.
Okay, fair enough.
AI's met its match.
Damn. I will say though, ChatGPT, easy as fuck to use. Every time like you would give me feedback, I'd go, okay, now instead of give me a fake r/am I the asshole story, it was give me a long fake r/am I the asshole story with moral ambiguity. Give me a long fake r/am I the asshole story with named characters, ages, and moral ambiguity. Give me a detailed, morally ambiguous r/entitled parent story, and it,
I think there's just a bunch of things that humans do that I can pick out.
Also,
that
sorry, go ahead.
Is, I don't know, I think I just can pick things out better.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting that stuff like Reddit posts are down to a science where AI just like has a template for it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Honestly, there was a bunch of times where they almost got me.
Yeah, well, it even writes stuff like AITI in all caps, like the way that they would. But that's also where it messed up, is it, I think it just thought I wanted an Am I the Asshole story about an entitled parent, because it wrote AITI at the end of that one. Which worked out, because the second one said this was posted on AITI, but keeps getting taken down. So that's why I picked those two, like that. Or that's why I picked the real one after generating the fake one, is because they both kind of had that, like, could have been in either subreddit, could have been, like, not really great posts in either subreddit.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a fun experiment, though.
I think you have a tell.
Do I?
Fuck. Yeah, you definitely get more descriptive and more thinking about it when it's AI.
I knew I did that. Fuck. I thought I was good. I thought I was so slick, too. Okay.
What can I say? I'm great at reading people.
Well, if we ever do a rematch, I'll have them ready beforehand. How
about next time it's your turn?
That's fine, yeah.
I'll try to work it out.
Are you gonna prepare beforehand?
When ChatGPT works.
Because if you do, what I would do if I could do this again and have time to prepare is I would copy and paste them into the same fonts and the same formatting. Okay. And I would add, I would try and edit in Ages and stuff, because that was definitely a bit of a tell.
Yeah.
Or I don't even know if I'd edited in Ages, but I'd at least try to put them in the same font and everything. Or even just, make a Reddit post where no one's going to see it and just, have it look like an Am I the Asshole post. I don't know.
That's fair.
It's up to you. But I sent you all the screenshots so you can put them on screen.
I think mine might be hard because now I can tell
I listen to some Reddit podcasts, unfortunately, when I have nothing else to listen to. And I do scroll through Reddit sometimes, so.
But I think I'm very hyperactive about human characteristics.
Okay.
So if I keep fucking with the AI, what if I make
I was
it
gonna
sound
say,
like a
that's
human?
why I'm kind of against. That's why I was like, maybe we don't edit the AI, because if we edit the AI, it's gonna take away the whole point.
It's gonna sound way too realistic.
I tried not to make too many edits when I was reading it, but I definitely couldn't help myself occasionally, and I think that probably shone through. I'm sure you could tell when I was extrapolating.
That was fun.
I'm glad we ended up doing that for the podcast.
We should probably change. We should probably change the format.
What do you mean?
So I could put it in and have them guess as well.
Oh, true. Or you could just not show the post till after.
Okay.
Yeah. That could work too.
Fun. That was fun.
Oh shit, I didn't take screenshots of who posted the Reddit stories, did I? I forgot to credit the Reddit. Or I did for one of them.
I mean, some of them.
All of them except for the last one, so I can just pull up that last one real quick and do it. I just want to not give credit because people get mad when you do that.
Yeah.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Reddit post, so it's whatever. Half of these are fake anyway, but also just.
Yeah.
That's why I thought it might be easier to trip you up, is because some of them are fake as fuck and it's obvious. I should have gone to controversial on r/Am I the Asshole, but then some of those are just gonna be actual assholes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
you won with a score of 7.5 to 0. Are you good?
I dropped something. I dropped my fidget spinner. I'm good. What can I say? I went crazy.
You did really well though. I think that was a fun podcast. I enjoyed that.
It was.
That was one of our better episodes.
We should do that. We should do 1 or 2 of those for the guests.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Guests incoming? What?
Maybe Schmort.
Ooh, Schmort.
I don't think anyone's gonna know what that means, but you know.
Yeah. Your friends will.
If they listen, I don't think
We should probably close out now.
Yeah, we should. It's been an hour and 10 minutes recording. Well,
thank you all for watching. Make sure to like this pod and subscribe.
Oh, I didn't tell you, but if you won, I was going to let you choose something I have to tweet, and if you lost, I was going to say you should let ChatGPT make a tweet from your account. So, what do you want me to tweet? Follow me on Twitter to find out what she said. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye-bye-bye.